After a moment of consideration, he pulled off his pajamas and plunged in. Cold! It was cold enough to make his teeth rattle in their sockets and his hair stand on end, and it wasn't more than 3 feet deep at its deepest point. But at that moment, Rush wouldn't have traded it for the pearl-lined pool of a Maharaja. "Come on, sissy," he said to Isaac. And Isaac, with a look of loathing, but obedient to the last, flung himself into the water. When Rush came out, he was red as a boiled lobster, and he felt like Superman. He thumped himself on the chest and uttered several ear-splitting sounds which he fondly imagined to be good imitations of Tarzan's jungle cry. There was nothing to dry himself with except the top of his pajamas, so he used that, first on himself and then on Isaac. Then, clad only in the pajama trousers, and holding the jacket over his head like a drenched banner, he marched back toward the house. But he felt so fine with the wind tickling his bare ribs that when he came to the house he walked right past it toward the stable. He might as well see everything, he thought. "Hi there, Robinson Crusoe. Where's your clothes?" said a voice. And Rush saw Willie Sloper sitting on an overturned bucket under a tree. There was a little fire in front of him, and he was cooking something over it, something that smelled equally delicious to both Rush and Isaac with their differently attuned noses. "Hi, Willie. What's cooking?" "My breakfast," Willie said. "Coffee. Hot black coffee. Strong enough to lift a safe. And bacon. Crisp, juicy bacon. And eggs still warm from the grocery store. I done the marketing early. I rode to the village with the milkman, and I rode back with the garbage collector. Awful nice fellows, both of 'em. Want some breakfast?" Rush refused politely, although he could feel the hunger in his stomach uncoiling like a cobra. "Why don't you go up to the kitchen, Willie? Kathy will give you breakfast." I know. But it's just that I like eating outdoors this way. Reminds me of Van Cortlandt Park." "It's the gypsy in you," Rush said. "The hobo, more likely," Willie told him. "I always had a kind of good-for-nothing streak in me, like a stray dog. I always kind of thought I'd like to hit the road, walk, and ride the rails, and be a bum. Carry my coffee pot on a string around my neck, and not have nothing on my back in the way of responsibilities except a change of clothes, an extra pair of shoes, and this here old frying pan." "Why didn't you ever?" asked Rush, who thought the idea sounded pretty good himself. "Well, I tell you. It's from my father's side of the family that I got this idea about hitting the road. But from my mother's side of the family, I get a mean conscience that's always kept me earning my living, whether I wanted to or not." Willie sighed and removed bacon from the frying pan to a thick, chipped plate. "Ain't you cold? Where you been?" "Swimming," said Rush dreamily, watching Willie break 4 eggs into the frying pan and set them over the fire. "Swimming? That you I heard a while back making them noises?" "Yes, I was being Tarzan," Rush explained. "Tarzan? Sounded more like a rooster with the croup." Rush didn't reply. He was staring fascinated at the eggs. He watched the transparent whites become opaque, changing from liquid to solid. He watched their 4 golden eyes looking up at him enticingly. He swallowed, unable to stir or to remove his gaze from those hypnotic eggs. "Want some?" said Willie. "Oh, no thanks, Willie," said Rush faintly. "My own breakfast will be ready in a few minutes." "Oh, come on," said Willie, and gave him an enormous plateful. "Want some coffee?" "Well, I never had any. I mean black like that." "Oh, it won't hurt you. I drank black coffee when I was 8 years old. Time I was your age, I chewed tobacco. Never hurt me none." Rush took the hot tin cup in his hands. The first swallow was so hot he could feel wrinkles on his tongue after he had taken it. And the black, bitter taste of it didn't please him much, but he couldn't be less of a man at 13 than Willie had been at 8, so he drank 2 cups, smacking his lips. "Next time I'll teach you to chew. Willie called as Rush reeled dizzily back to the house. "Rush Melendi," said Cuffy, "why are you only wearing your pajama pants? Don't you know this is the middle of October?" "I've been swimming," Rush explained. "Swimming?" said Cuffy, outraged. And "Swimming?" said Randy incredulously as she came into the kitchen. "Swimming in what?" "There's a brook," Rush said. "I discovered it. We've got a brook on our property." Randy started for the door, but Cuffy caught her by her overall straps. "No, you don't, my duck. Not till you've eaten every bit of breakfast. Here, Rush, here's your sweater. Put it on and eat your breakfast while it's hot. You can dress later." There was no help for it. Rush had to sit down and eat breakfast all over again, every mouthful. Oatmeal and eggs and bacon and toast and milk. Cuffy watched him like an eagle at meals nowadays because she thought he was too thin. Rush chewed until his jaws ached and his eyes watered. He might as well have been eating sawdust. But at last it was over, and he started up the stairs, moving slowly and heavily, weighted down with breakfast. He met Mona on the stairs. "For goodness sake, Rush," she said, "why do you look so funny?" "Born that way," Rush replied glumly. "No, I mean, why are you holding your stomach? Have you got a pain?" Rush paused wearily, like an actor playing Hamlet. "Mona," he said, "it might interest you to know that I'm carrying a heavy burden. For breakfast today I was forced by circumstance to consume 4 eggs, 2 fried, 2 boiled. Also 9 pieces of bacon. 9. Also 1 bowl of oatmeal, man-size. Also 1 piece of toast, as big as a barn door with marmalade on it. Also 1 glass of milk, and 2 large cups of black coffee. Now do you understand?" "What is it, a contest or something?" "Coffee? You mean Cuffy let you?" "Shh. No, silly. Today I attended 2 breakfasts. At Willie's, coffee was served. Then, in order to avoid complications, I ate a second one at Cuffy's request." "How revolting," said Mona, continuing downstairs. It had been her favorite word for some time now.